You're watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. From Toronto, Ontario, I'm Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. Today, a conversation with KHALED ALSADI, who is the Director of Finance at Sound Vision Foundation, our parent company, about what happened to his family when the Israeli military raided Jenin. But first, some news headlines. RCMP under review amid 2-year anniversary of Nova Scotia mass killing. Edmonton Church provides space to Muslims for evening prayers. Dutch Bank apologises for past involvement in slave trade. Top Indian Muslim group petitions court against bulldozing of suspects' homes. And now the details. The RCMP is under review for its communications in an incident 2 years ago today, where a killing spree left 22 dead in Colchester County, Nova Scotia. The Commission of Inquiry into the 13-hour mass shooting is investigating why the RCMP did not share information on the killer and his whereabouts with local residents earlier on. It was over 10 hours before the RCMP tweeted about an active shooter in the area. Lawyers claim that some victims would still be alive if they had known earlier. Other experts mention the unprecedented nature of the incident, which left the RCMP unable to respond quickly. McDougall United Church, one of Edmonton's oldest churches, hosts Muslims for evening Tarawih prayers since Ramadan began this month. A couple of dozen Muslim men and women set up prayer rigs in front of the pews. The effort is a partnership between the Muslim Association of Canada and McDougall United Church to provide downtown Muslim residents a nearby space to pray. Larry Durkach, a member of the church, adds that they were interested in forming a community space for all together. Ramadan will be the trial stage for this idea, with more interfaith events planned for the future. On Wednesday, ABN Amro, the third largest Dutch bank, issued an apology for its predecessor's role in the Atlantic slave trade during the 18th and 19th centuries. The bank worked with the International Institute of Social History to investigate its two predecessors, Hope & Co. and Mies and Zoonen. Researchers found Hope & Co.'s profits were inextricably linked to the slave trade. Between a quarter and 1/3 of the company's annual revenues in the latter half of the 18th century were from slavery. As well, the investigation revealed Mies and Zoonen issued maritime insurances, and more than half were related to shipment of slaves. ABN Amro CEO Robert Swaak said the bank had a proud history going back more than 300 years, but acknowledged its darker side. Jamiat Ulama Hind, India's largest socio-religious Muslim organization, is appealing to the Supreme Court against the use of bulldozers to demolish the homes of suspects in criminal incidents. The group is urging the court to issue instructions preventing anyone unconnected to the investigation from blaming anyone until a criminal court rules. The move comes after the government in Madhya Pradesh state demolished the homes and shops of many Muslims after they were accused of pelting stones at a Hindu procession. A similar action was reported in the state of Gujarat. Communal violence is ongoing in several Indian states recently during the Holy Hindu festival, leaving many injured. And that's it for the news. According to some estimates, the Israeli military have killed 17 Palestinians since Ramadan began this year. 2 of those killed were relatives of the Director of Finance of our Sound Vision organization, KHALED ALSADI. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you, Sister Kathy. Thanks for Muslim Network TV to have me.
Thank you for joining us, and we're very sorry. We offer you our condolences. Would you like to share with us what happened?
Yes, 2 of my relatives, they are 20 years old and 23 years old. They got killed recently in the last operation of the Israeli military in Jenin. They just invaded that area and they arrested many people and simply they shot them dead.
Why were the Israeli military in Jenin?
Because of what happened recently in last operation in Tel Aviv, they believe that this place where like it's called Jenin refugee camp has lots of resistance from the Palestinian side. Every time there is anything happened inside Israel, they come to that particular area and they do their operations.
What I don't understand about this is that, if there's an operation and there should be an investigation and then they should track down the actual assailants, what are they doing in a camp far away, just shooting civilians? How is that part of the rule of law?
That what according to the military, to the Israeli military, that this camp is like a cell of all the resistance and what they call them al-mujahideen. And every time there is an operation, they don't wait for investigation. They don't wait for anything. They're just bringing their military tanks, their power, their guns, and they go there. That place is very crowded place, full of civilians, full of children. I visited that place in 2018, and you can say that those houses are like very tight next to each other. Lots of children, lots of women there. So when they go there, I don't believe that they can tell exactly what they're looking for. They're just randomly start looking for anyone, any specifically youth people. When they see them in the street, they start like chasing them around, and then they shoot them with rubber bullets and sometimes with a live bullet, and that's what happened exactly. They killed two of my relatives. I was on the phone with my cousin, and it was 1:30 a.m. in the morning in their time. And while I'm talking to him on the phone, I heard the shotguns. They start shooting gun around and like crazy, very loud. And I said, what happened? He said they just came with all the military, equipment and tanks and machines. And he was running to save his children. They don't have.
I'm very sorry to hear that. How did that make you feel? You're on the phone and you can hear it.
Yeah, this is not the first time, because I also have sisters living there. I have lots of cousins and sisters live in that area. And sometimes when I talk to them, I hear that because they live in an area where it's close to the refugee camp, like what I mentioned, and I just felt unsafe for them, and I felt like very scared and feared, and I kept calling them until the morning. He told me that I'm sorry, I didn't like when I get hold of him the next day. He said I'm sorry, but they start shooting the internet cables, so they're trying to cut the communication between that area and outside, so nobody will know what they are doing on the ground.
You live in the United States. Are these weapons provided by U.S. military assistance?
Yeah, of course. This is the aid of the U.S. What we're paying from our tax money to help in that operation. We don't like that, but this is the truth.
Has the US government issued any kind of condolences or requests for Israel to follow the rule of law, arrest people, try them, find evidence before they go randomly shooting?
Not what I'm aware of until now.
So you, I believe, were born in Jordan, but you just mentioned you visited the Jenin camp. Tell us a little bit about what's that been like for you?
It's like I'm going back to my roots, because where I grew up in Jordan, my father was telling the story all the time about his childhood. My father died in 2014, and he lived all or most of his life in Jordan as a refugee. He first, got migrated from his original town in Palestine to a refugee camp in Palestine. So he wasn't allowed to go visit his place. So when he was talking to me about his childhood and that place where he grew up, I always been curious to go and see that place, because, when you hear all these nice stories. And when I had the privilege, when I came to America and I was able to go, because even if you live in Jordan, you will not be allowed to go and visit Palestine. It's almost 2 hours far in the car driving to go there. but they won't allow you to go visit Palestine as a Palestinian, of course. So when I had the privilege in 2018 and I was able to go there, first thing I did, I went to visit my dad's old town, and I was very shocked and surprised. Unfortunately, my dad was already passed away, but when I looked around and I see that they left no signs of anybody lived in that area. I saw just a pile of rocks on the ground here and there, and some water wells abandoned. There's no water in it, and some of those trees that my father used to tell us about, the cactus trees, the olive trees, what they used to grow in that area. I was really sad to see that. And they had a memorial in the middle of that town. But it's not town anymore because it's just an empty space with lots of, grass and weeds, and they don't take care of it. And in that memorial, they had something written in the Hebrew language. It's not in English or in Arabic. And when I asked someone, I said, what they wrote in that memorial there? And then he said, the heroes who invaded this area and occupied it. And they got according to them, some of them, they got killed there. So what I did is I just got some soil from that land. I put it in a bag. I took it with me back to Jordan, and I put it on my dad's grave. I know it is not gonna be like to the dead person, but it's for those people to remind them that even we are in Jordan, even we are in America, even anywhere, we still attached to that place. This is our land, and someday, inshallah, we're gonna go there freely, and we will just enjoy it because it's a very, very peaceful, beautiful place.
Inshallah. Let's talk a little bit about something else that's been going on this past weekend as well, with the Israeli police raiding Al-Aqsa and injuring people. You spoke at a seminar on Saturday where we connected with a Canadian imam who's there. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you learnt during that seminar?
Yeah, we had a seminar on Saturday with Imam Azzam Rayash. He's a visiting imam from Al-Aqsa. We invited him to our webinar, and he told us about what's happening. Actually, what's happening is like most people, at least in our community here, see on the news or in the social media what's happening right now. Simply that there is a barbaric attack on the Masjid Al-Aqsa. And when you watch those video clips here and there, and some of our relatives, they are passing those videos to us, and you are seeing that there is a very full of hate attack, on the Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is happening every Ramadan season, the fasting month of the Muslims, around the world. Because this is when you are spiritually attached to the first Qibla of the Muslimin, the third holy site for Muslims Ummah, for 1.8 billion Muslims around the world. This masjid is sacred and it belongs to the Muslims. And, this is the only site, actually, according to our Islamic teaching, that you are allowed to go visit in intention to go visit a mosque. And the prayer there counts by multiple times. That is the time where people in Masjid Al-Aqsa, or when people from Palestine in general, everywhere, they go to Masjid Al-Aqsa and to perform their Ramadan prayer, night prayer, morning prayer. Israeli military, they get prepared for this season. They start first put very strong restrictions. They won't allow anybody less than 50 years sometimes to go to the Al-Masjid. They won't allow you if you have any kind of background, with a problem, or you don't have for example, let's say a valid driver license, any flimsy reason, they won't allow you. Second thing, they start like going inside those yards of the Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, what's around it, and pushing people and teasing people. They want them to, to escalate the situation. Once one of the Musallin, the worshippers, try to resist even by staring at a soldier, then this is the oppression will start. They start like hitting people, shooting people, throwing a tear gas, and even women and children. If you look at the videos and you see that, like,
and unfortunately, we're out of time now, but thank you for joining us and sharing with us these experiences.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching Canadian Muslim News. If you like what we do, please share, like, and subscribe. Stay safe and God bless.